Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not elevator pitch. This is like we have like half an hour, right? So, okay. So my friend here, definitely mid 20s, late 20s, well into your 20s. Okay. So I want to talk to you about crypto and sort of the crypto landscape. And man, I'm going to sort of be going all over the place. I'm going to be going down a couple different rabbit holes, explaining to you how much do you know about crypto? Do you know the difference between like proof of work and proof of stake?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do or you don't?
Like roughly. Like, I
Okay.
wouldn't say I know it well.
Okay.
Well, I've
Okay.
definitely like looked into it from
Okay.
different
So the
fronts.
fact that you sort of touched on it is important. And I think one of the questions I asked you this morning, you know, it's in terms of decentralized finance, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
So you,
I did consulting on it actually.
oh, okay. So interesting. So before we go, like, what are your thoughts on that as a go forward kind of?
Like when I was doing my research on it, is that it was still like early stages, right? Like this was probably like four, 4 years ago, maybe, when I was doing consulting. And essentially, what my task was looking at that decentralized space and more so looking at the regulations surrounding it and the future of payments specifically,
Yeah, right.
right? Like how are we, like how, like one, obviously this entire industry is not well regulated. One, two,
Yeah.
it's like when will financial institutions actually start leveraging these types of payments because of how volatile.
Oh, so you're talking about like some from like purely monetary standpoint. I'm sort
Yeah.
of talking about the disruptive technology of blockchain
Okay.
used as a currency or money to supersede that entire world that we live in that's dominated by the big banks and
Mm-hmm.
shareholders and oligarchs and the fees that they get you coming and going. You can't do anything with your money without someone sort of getting their hand in there, and sort of my sort of seed I want to plant with you is the decentralized finance aspect of that, is getting rid of all of that and having a global currency that replaces all of that, that's outside of business, that's sort of power to the people and puts money and finances into the hands of people again.
Right.
So again, like I told you, I'm going to be sort of all over the place a little bit. So
Yeah.
let's sort of talk about blockchain is in general. It's been around 60, 70 years as a technology. And the first sort of real, I guess, proof of concept of the use of blockchain as a monetary system is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Obviously familiar with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is proof of work. So you already know about proof of work. So I don't sort of need to tell you the difference between that and proof of stake. And a lot of the coins out there are not proof of work, they're proof of stake, leveraged by someone with a lot of money, creating a coin, airdropping them, and then sort of a pump and dump scheme to game the market, right? Like, I mean, you see a lot of that stuff out there right now, very dangerous, crap tables kind of thing.
Full
So,
gambling.
yeah, it is. It is. So in concept, Bitcoin was revolutionary, right? As a peer-to-peer payment platform built on blockchain, proof of work, and the problem with that is it's not scalable, right? So their proof of work system is very heavily CPU intensive. You need a lot of processing power, which requires a lot of cooling, which is a lot of energy. And there's only like 5 accounts in the world who are mining most of the Bitcoin out there, if not all of it. So it's a consolidation of wealth of Bitcoin, just like everything else is coming to be these days. You don't need to go too far. Like the U.S. had an election, we're having an election. You see where the way the world is going. You hear about terms of fascism and oligarchs and rich getting richer and poor getting poorer. And so this is sort of the thrust of where I'm going with all of this, is that I've been introduced to an organization, a group of people who have created a blockchain that's proof of work, that is I don't know if you ever heard of the cuckoo cycle. So it's a proof of work blockchain minting coins, money, but it's not CPU intensive, it's RAM intensive.
Okay.
So you don't need supercomputers, you can use your laptop to do it. So I met these individuals through my son. He was in Washington and saw one of them speak and was very intrigued, with the concept. So it's this company called QPQ out of Switzerland, and they've spent the last number of years creating a blockchain that really works. And when I say really works, it's they mint coins, and the goal of this and them and their entire group of people and their life's work is sort of the economics, Internet of Economics is sort of the term they use, and the emancipation of humanity from an economic standpoint. So basically creating a coin, blockchain, a cryptocurrency that is like Bitcoin, but it's scalable. Like Bitcoin, you can do a transaction, but it takes so long and it's so costly to do it. The whole goal, yeah, man. So with the whole thing, and like sort of my personal rabbit hole with crypto, I sort of went down, started looking into it about 5 years ago. And I'm like, okay, I'm stick my toe in the water, buy some Bitcoin. And I realized, well, there isn't just Bitcoin. There's like 3,000 other coins out there and more coming all the time. And then like, you look at this and you look at that and what technology they built on, and a lot of them leveraging Ethereum or this or that or whatever. And then sort of these coins that are coming out pump and dump, they're sort of being gamified. It's like, what's going on? And the whole concept of cryptocurrency, being in the payment space like I've been for 30 years, was like, this is really intriguing stuff, because I've dealt with banks and I know how archaic their systems are, and I know sort of how they grind people and make money and all that kind of thing. So the whole decentralized finance aspect of it, to me, I'm just like, wow, this is mind-blowing. I'm like, this has to happen. This will happen. To me, it's inevitable, because the stuff that's going on out there right now, it can't continue. Like, people will eventually rise up and to sort of, try to take the power back. So, and I know I'm all over the place. So back to QPQ and the Gaju Maru, which is what their coin is. And so they spent years building a blockchain, and basically their goal is to have a cryptocurrency, a coin that actually works, that is scalable, that you can do thousands of transactions a second, that is, basically sort of Bitcoin V2 reimagined, that you could actually buy a loaf of bread with. Right? So real life usability of a cryptocurrency with you, with me, with everyone. And that's the vision of these people. And that's what they've done, and they've created it. And it's a very altruistic viewpoint to have. It's like, because, well, how come aren't they going to make trillions of dollars on this? Like, how are they going to grease the world doing it? They don't want to do that. What they want to do is, they're sick of the Leviathan out there and everything that's going on, and want to replace it with the Gaju Maru coin, minting real money through proof of work, just like gold. You want to get gold, you got a shovel, you got to get equipment, you mine it, you find it, being there it is. Like, that's sort of where the term mining comes from. So they've done it. They have this blockchain, it's up, it's running, and the reason why they created it is because their long-term vision is not the coin and the blockchain itself, it's the layer on top of it, to be able to shop and to use it long-term, like for the next 5,000 years, to create this sort of global money, if you will. And there's a difference between money and currency, and I don't need to sort of go down that. I mean, how that, again, gamified, printing more money and inflation and all that. So you can sort of see where I'm going with this. Now, the reason why I want to talk to you today is because they have this pioneer, like, they are in the process of minting coins. It started, what's today? Today's Wednesday?
26th.
Monday they started minting internally, friends and family. And through my son and his connections and meeting these people, I started to talk to them. I've been talking with them for the last few weeks. I've been on many meetings with them for hours, like talking about what's their go-to-market strategy, what's your marketing strategy, what, how are you going to do this? How, like, my time here, I'm asking a lot of questions. How are you going to realize this? And their whole goal is they want as many people mining this as possible. Like, their goal is to have 10 million people this year mining, like through word of mouth and connections and all that kind of stuff. Because the more people that are mining, the more people they have in the ecosystem, the more people they have using it, wanting to mend it, to use it, to buy bread, to pay utility bills, all this kind of stuff. They get 10 million people, great. If they get 100 million people, great. So right, so that's it's kind of, it is that realistic and realization of emancipation of the human race out from under the yoke and the feet on our, foot on our throat of all this kind of stuff, and they're looking for people to mine. And I'm one of them. And it's inner circle kind of stuff right now. There's whitelisting, there's different packages that you can buy that allow you to mine these coins. There's no value yet, because it's like, imagine going back in time 20 years and it's like you had an opportunity to mine Bitcoin, So with what's realistically, and I'm not selling you anything, I'm just informing you of this, that with a nominal cash outlay, you can become a miner with that laptop that you have. And this is something that I'm finding people that not only, yes, want to mine coins, but sort of buy into the whole vision of changing the world, right? So it's part and parcel. The benefit of this is you want to spend $10,000 and start mining 20,000 coins a day. This is kind of what I'm coming to talk to you about. So is this something you'd be interested or not? You let me know, because I can give you, my code or whatever, and they have different packages. The top one is 40,000 Gajus a day, and it's whitelisted for like the next year. So for the next year, you could be able to mine, as long as your computer's up and running, 40,000 Gajus a day. They have other packages that are like, 1,000 a day or something like that. It scales back.
What are the costs looking like?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So the top package is 10,000 Swiss francs, and trust me, I know exactly what that converts to in Canadian dollars, about 16 grand. And that gets you 40,000 a day, for the whitelist period. After that, they sort of reevaluate things, but if you want to pull your calculator up and see what 40,000 times 365 days looks like and how many coins you would mint, you're a young guy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to think what that might look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. So it's completely inner circle. They haven't released it to the world yet. They're trying to get, again, as many people. They want to harden the system. It's very much like, what it's like here in the early days. They're having struggles, little hiccups, not with the technology, but with like getting an online payment system to help them take payments. Because as soon as people, they find out it's a crypto thing, it's like, well, not selling crypto, we're selling business licenses. It's just like, again, the establishment store is like, whoa, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? Like, you're stepping all over our toes now, and there's going to be barriers and hurdles. They're trying to do everything themselves, but it's still very much in an infancy stage. They've got the blockchain, and it's rock solid, and it's ready to go. And the more time they waste on stupid stuff like trying to make their own payment pages, the less time they have to build that infrastructure layer on top that's like an Amazon that can use Gajus, and the on and off ramps to the other currencies, fiat currencies in the world, and all that kind of stuff, which is forthcoming. It's all a matter of time, but right now at its infancy, this is where they are. I've met them. I'm just like, these people are for real. They are all the most intelligent people I have ever met. Like, it's just crazy. And I'm all in, because I've got a job here, but I'm doing that mostly because I believe in the vision of all of it and where I want the world to go and how I want the world to change. And you're a young guy, like, I want the world to change for you and my grandchildren and all that. So I'm very much all in on this, because to me it's meaningful work outside. What we do here, which is, it's a paycheck. This is real life-changing stuff, to have a chance to put your fingerprint on changing the world. And I'm just like, I'm in. So I just wanted to let you know, like, I have this route in, if you're interested into it. I don't know if you have friends who are into it or not, but I'm happy to talk to whoever. But the more people we get mining, the more people who are into it, the more people who can foresee a future where you can use crypto to buy a loaf of bread and buy cars and live your life outside of all the other crap that's out there. These are people I want to talk to.
Well, I'm looking at their website now, like, trying to see if they have like a roadmap.
It's
like a white paper on it.
well. Here's the thing. So with sort of getting into this now and early, you become one of their pioneers. You get into their chat group where you get to talk to the lead developers and the CEO and the chief marketing officer. Like, these are people who are front and center. They're hosting calls, they're hosting info sessions. It's sort of like the inner circle as they build a tribe. Tribe becomes a community. Community becomes a nation, and so more breeds more. So, there's all that kind of stuff, but they're still waiting to close out patents, in the next sort of couple week or two. So a lot of that stuff isn't released yet because then people have to sign non-disclosure agreements and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, man, it's that new. It's that sort of out of the shell, out of, just hatching from the egg kind of thing. And I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you bringing it up. I'm definitely like, I want to look into it. I probably won't go for like the top.
Don't need to. I'm just sort of letting you know.
I'm looking at just like my finances.